Next time you order delivery from your favorite local Thai place, take a close look at the receipt. Like, really look at it. Let's say you spend, I don't know, $30 on pad thai and some spring rolls.
Yeah, which sounds like a pretty standard Friday night order, honestly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So imagine walking into that physical restaurant, handing the owner your $30, and then watching a tech executive in a tailored suit just swoop in, open the cash register, and snatch $9 right out of the till.
Right in front of them.
Yeah, before the chef even starts chopping the vegetables.
It is a really painful visual, but functionally. That is the exact reality of the local restaurant economy right now.
It's wild.
It really is. Third-party delivery apps are taking up to a 30% commission on every single order. And, over time, that invisible tax just completely devours a restaurant's profit margins.
Yeah, 30% is massive.
It turns what should be a thriving local business into an entity that is essentially just treading water, Like they're working tirelessly just to pay rent to a digital landlord.
Well, today, we are unpacking an Enatega deep dive into white label platforms. Specifically, we've got this incredibly insightful piece by Hudabia Khalid called Top 7 Benefits of White Label Food Delivery Platform. And we're going to see exactly how local businesses are cutting out these tech giants and keeping their own money.
It's a really crucial topic right now.
Absolutely. So for you listening, your mission today is simple. We are going to explore the hidden mechanics of the delivery economy and how the little guys are finally mounting a strategic counteroffensive.
And the weapon of choice in this counteroffensive is the white label platform. To give you a clear overview, this is essentially a ready-made, enterprise-grade software solution. It contains the entire digital infrastructure required to run a modern delivery business.
Okay, so it's the whole package.
Right. But instead of the software company plastering their own corporate branding all over the interface...
Like the big aggregator apps do.
Exactly. Instead of doing that, they hand the operational keys over to the business owner. The restaurant or service provider rebrands the software entirely with their own logo, their own color palette, and their own name.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the immediate question that pops into my head is that classic build versus buy dilemma.
Oh, sure.
Like, if you are a restaurant owner losing 30% of your revenue to a marketplace app, why not just hire a developer to build your own custom app? You own it, you keep all the profits.
In theory, yes.
But then again, I guess that's like buying individual metal parts, a bunch of gears, some wiring, and trying to build a high-performance engine piece by piece in your garage, instead of just buying a finished car that is ready to drive off the lot.
That analogy hits the nail on the head, honestly. It perfectly captures the sheer underlying complexity of software development. When a local business tries to code an app from scratch, they are not just designing an attractive menu screen.
Right. There's way more going on under the hood.
Way more. Suddenly, a pizza shop owner has to become a cybersecurity expert to handle PCI-compliant payment gateways.
Oh man, dealing with credit card security sounds like a nightmare.
It is, and they have to engineer real-time GPS tracking for drivers, manage cloud server load balancing so the app does not crash during the Friday night rush, and, build the infrastructure for push notifications.
Which is a lot for someone whose actual job is making pizza.
Exactly. And the source lays out some stark financial realities here. Developing a custom food delivery app from the ground up can cost $100,000 or significantly more.
$100,000. Wow, that is a massive amount of pad thai you have to sell just to break even on the software investment.
It really is.
Not to mention the timeline, right? You're looking at months of beta testing, bug hunting, and constant updates. It carries a massive financial risk for a small business operating on razor-thin food margins.
Absolutely. So contrast that staggering risk with a white label solution. The article notes these ready-made platforms cost anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000, depending on the tier of complexity and the enterprise features required.
That is a huge difference from $100,000 plus down to like maybe a few grand to get started.
Right. The pricing is predictable, but more crucially, the deployment speed is incredibly fast. A business can launch their fully branded app in a matter of weeks.
Wow, weeks. Not months or years.
Yeah, and that velocity allows them to capture customer demand and start recovering that 30% commission instantly, rather than waiting a year for an engineering team to squash software bugs.
I do have to push back on the design side of this, though. Because if you were buying a pre-built template like buying an off-the-rack suit instead of getting one tailored, doesn't that mean your local burger joints app is going to look functionally identical to the competitor's pizza app down the street?
That's a valid concern for sure.
Yeah, right. If everyone is renting the same underlying white label software, it seems like you sacrifice your unique brand identity.
Well, the custom branding element of these modern platforms is actually incredibly robust, specifically to avoid that cookie-cutter aesthetic.
Oh, really? So it's not just like pick a color and upload a photo.
No, no, it goes far beyond simply slapping a JPEG logo on the home screen. The underlying architecture is modular. The platform allows for deep customization of the user interface. We are talking custom cascading style sheets, bespoke color palettes, unique typography, and highly customized operational workflows.
Okay, so it genuinely feels custom.
Exactly. The end user, your customer, never sees a single line of Enatega's underlying code. As far as they are concerned, they are interacting within a premium digital ecosystem designed exclusively by their favorite local business.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because once you actually own that digital ecosystem, it changes the fundamental nature of your relationship with the person ordering the food. We have to talk about the most valuable currency in the modern digital age, which is customer data.
Yes. This represents the most critical strategic advantage of migrating away from third-party marketplaces.
Because right now, the restaurants don't actually know who I am, do they?
No, they don't. When you, the listener, order from a giant aggregator app, the restaurant preparing your food does not actually get your data. The marketplace hoards it.
They just keep it all for themselves.
Exactly. From the restaurant's perspective, a ticket simply prints out that says, "Order 402 needs a pepperoni pizza." They do not receive your real email address, they do not know your ordering frequency, and they have no insight into what targeted ad made you click buy. The marketplace anonymizes the transaction to keep the restaurant dependent on them.
It is wild when you visualize it physically.
Mm-hmm.
It is like having a regular customer come into your physical dining room every Friday night, but you are forced to wear a blindfold and earplugs.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. You can never walk up to their table and say, "Hey, great to see you again. Do you want your usual order?" You are completely severed from your own clientele.
With a white label app, that artificial barrier is destroyed. The business gains full, unfiltered ownership of those ordering habits, preferences, and behavioral analytics.
Which is huge.
It's everything.
Yeah.
I want you to think about your own phone right now. Why do you consistently return to certain digital brands? It is rarely an accident.
No, it's totally by design.
Exactly. It is the result of personalization based on data. It is the targeted marketing, the seamless loyalty points you accumulate, the specific push notification offering you a discount on the exact spicy tuna roll you typically crave on a rainy Tuesday evening.
And when a brand anticipates my needs like that, I feel invested. Like it
Yeah.
feels less like a transaction and more like a relationship.
Precisely. If a local business actually owns their data, they can run the exact same sophisticated cohort analysis and targeted marketing campaigns that the massive tech giants use.
They can actually compete on an even playing field.
Yes, they can build VIP loyalty tiers based on actual user behavior, turning a casual one-time user into a lifelong dedicated advocate for the brand.
Okay, but that data pipeline is incredibly lucrative, sure. But it relies entirely on execution. Like you can have the most beautiful app and the smartest loyalty program in the world, but if the customer's food arrives cold and an hour late, they're going to delete the app.
Oh, absolutely. The logistical execution has to be flawless.
So I was looking at the architecture of this in the source material, and I was amazed to learn that this isn't just a single piece of software. I always thought of delivery as just the app on my phone.
A lot of people do.
But to manage the sheer chaos of a dinner rush-like stressed-out kitchens, drivers navigating city traffic, customers staring at their screens, the software has to perform a massive juggling act. The source describes it as a 4-in-1 ecosystem.
Yes, 4 separate but deeply integrated components.
Right, and I completely understood the customer-facing side, but I was a bit fuzzy on how the back end actually syncs all this chaos together in real time. Can you break that down?
Sure, it is a fascinating logistical tightrope walk. You are dealing with 4 distinct synchronized applications communicating via constant data handshakes. Let's methodically unpack how they interact.
Okay, let's do it.
First, you have the customer app. This handles the intuitive ordering process, secure payment tokenization, and crucially, live location tracking via WebSockets.
So seeing the little car moving on the map.
Exactly. It provides real-time push notifications so the customer feels in control, which drastically reduces the volume of people calling the restaurant asking where their food is.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
which takes a massive amount of pressure off the front of house staff. Like they're spending their entire Friday night shift playing telephone with angry customers.
Right. Then that customer order instantly pings the second pillar, which is the restaurant app.
Okay, the restaurant app.
I picture this as a ruggedized tablet sitting right on the kitchen prep line. It paces the kitchen. It sounds an alert when an order hits, allows the expediter to update the status to cooking, and most importantly, it gives the restaurant instant control over their menu.
Instant control? Like what, if they run out of something?
Exactly. If they run out of a specific ingredient, they can instantly mark an item as sold out on the digital menu. This prevents a situation where a customer orders something that can't be fulfilled, which is a huge source of friction.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so that's two. Customer app and restaurant app.
Right. So the moment the kitchen marks that food as nearing completion, the system pings the third piece of the architecture, the Rider app. And this is where the engineering gets highly sophisticated.
How so? Because doesn't it just ping the closest guy?
You'd think so, but no. The software does not simply ping the closest driver. It utilizes complex route optimization algorithms. It factors in historical traffic patterns, street closures, and the geographical batching of orders to solve routing problems on the fly.
Oh, wow. So it's doing serious math to figure out who should take the order.
Exactly. It calculates the fastest possible path to ensure the driver minimizes downtime and maximizes their delivery volume.
That's incredible. And finally, I guess someone has to be playing air traffic controller for all of these moving parts, right?
Yeah.
Like if a driver gets a flat tire or a customer puts in the wrong delivery address, the system needs a fail-safe.
And that failsafe is the fourth pillar, the admin dashboard. This is the central nervous system of the entire operation, usually accessed via a web portal by the business owner or a dedicated dispatcher.
Okay, so they're sitting at a computer looking at everything.
Right. It provides a God-level view of the entire ecosystem. They monitor rider performance metrics, track real-time financial analytics, manage user access levels, and seamlessly handle those edge cases.
Like the flat tire scenario.
Exactly. If that driver does get a flat tire, the admin can manually intervene, reassigning the active order to a new driver with a single click without disrupting the customer's tracking experience.
So the real underlying mechanism here is automation. By automating order ingestion, algorithmic route assignments, and customer status updates in one perfectly synchronized loop, businesses are drastically reducing manual human errors.
They are.
There is no more mishearing a phone number over a noisy kitchen, or dispatching a driver to the north side of town when the order was actually meant for the south side.
It replaces operational chaos with a visible, trackable, and highly optimized workflow.
It's beautiful. Now, up until this point, we've been heavily focused on restaurants. Pizza, pad thai, burgers.
Yeah.
But I was analyzing the source material, and I noticed the use cases they list extend far beyond the hospitality sector.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly versatile.
Yeah. This technology isn't restricted to the mom-and-pop diner on the corner.
What's fascinating here is that the underlying logic of the software, taking a specific item from point A and delivering it to point B as efficiently as possible, is a universal business need. The software algorithms do not care whether the item being tracked is a hot burrito or a legal document.
The routing logic is identical. The source mentions cloud kitchens, which is a brilliant application of this. For those unfamiliar, a cloud kitchen is a delivery-only facility. There is no physical dining room, no wait staff, just a massive kitchen space.
It's all about efficiency.
Right. And with a white label platform, a single cloud kitchen operator can run 5 entirely different virtual restaurant brands simultaneously.
They can parse the incoming orders through the exact same back-end admin dashboard. They test a vegan burger concept on one app and a late-night dessert concept on another, leveraging the same physical prep cooks and the same delivery fleet.
And entirely bypassing the restrictions and commission fees of the third-party marketplaces for all 5 brands.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
It really is.
And reading further into the non-food sectors mentioned in the text, it lists medicine delivery, liquor, floral arrangements, and courier services. But the one that truly blew my mind was roadside assistance and tow trucks.
Yeah. When you break down the mechanics of roadside assistance, it perfectly mirrors food delivery.
He totally does.
Right. A customer is stranded on the highway. They need to request an immediate service. track the approaching tow truck's GPS location on a live map for peace of mind, and process a secure payment.
Which is exactly like ordering a pizza, just with higher stakes.
Exactly. And the tow truck driver needs that same route optimization algorithm to navigate through gridlock to reach the stranded vehicle quickly. Meanwhile, the centralized dispatch office needs the admin dashboard to monitor their entire fleet of trucks across the city.
Man, it is taking enterprise-level Silicon Valley logistics technology and democratizing it. It allows a local laundry service or a regional courier to scale their operations and expand into entirely new cities without needing a massive team of software engineers on their payroll.
The theory is undeniably sound, but the source also provides concrete evidence of how this transition impacts the bottom line in the real world.
Yes, I was thrilled to see actual case studies included, because taking theoretical software and proving it in the market is where things get real.
Definitely.
The text highlights a company called Borku Delivery. They specifically focus on bringing African cuisine to the food delivery market. That is a highly specialized niche.
It is, yeah.
If they're losing 30% of every order to an aggregator, their ability to source specialty imported ingredients basically vanishes. But by migrating to a white label system and owning their platform, they saved over $100,000 in commission fees.
And just think about what that means. That is $100,000 of liquid capital that flows directly back into the local economy.
It's life-changing for a business.
They can reinvest that into expanding their menu, offering higher wages to retain quality culinary staff, or even securing a lease for a second physical location.
The source also highlights platform scaling at an incredible rate. A startup called Yala Delivery, which handles both food and grocery logistics, utilized this tech to hit 60,000 active users in their very first year of operation.
60,000 in year one is no joke.
Right. Another platform, Snap Delivered, rapidly onboarded more than 100 different physical store locations onto their system. It proves that the underlying architecture can handle massive rapid scaling without collapsing under the weight of the data.
And we also see highly specialized niche applications leveraging this exact infrastructure. The text mentions Stylises and NW, which powers an on-demand mobile hair and beauty service network.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the Lumi Super AI app in Qatar, which aggregates multiple daily services into one unified interface.
The variety is just staggering, but let's put ourselves in the shoes of a business owner listening right now. They are convinced, they are ready to ditch the 30% fees and launch their own platform. How do they navigate the vendor landscape? There are countless software providers out there promising the moon. How do you evaluate them?
That's the critical steps. If we connect this to the bigger picture, migrating your entire digital operation requires a very strategic evaluation process. The source actually provides a highly practical buyer's guide checklist.
Okay, what's on the checklist?
First, it warns against simply hunting for the cheapest possible option. A rock-bottom price tag usually indicates that critical back-end features are missing or the code base is unstable.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly. Conversely, the most expensive enterprise option might be bloated with complex tools a local business will never utilize.
So beyond finding the right price-to-feature ratio, what is the technical priority? Because I know I've been in restaurants where the staff has to deal with what looks like a wall of iPads all pinging at once. It looks like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, the tablet wall. Yes, that nightmare scenario is exactly why integration capabilities are at the top of the checklist. The white label software must communicate flawlessly with the digital tools the business is already using.
Makes sense.
The most critical integration is the API connection to the restaurant's point-of-sale system. Think of an API as a universal translator. When a customer places an order on the new white label app, the API translates that data and injects it directly into the restaurant's existing ticket printer in the kitchen.
Oh, so nobody has to manually re-enter anything.
Right. If that API integration doesn't exist, you end up paying a staff member to stand there, read an order off the new delivery tablet, and manually type it into the physical cash register.
Which is how mistakes happen. You're just creating administrative friction and entirely defeating the purpose of software automation.
Furthermore, the software must be intuitive. The user interface needs to be frictionless for the end customer, obviously, but also for the kitchen staff experiencing high turnover who need to learn the dashboard on the fly.
Right. If it takes a week to train a new cook on the software, it's not going to work.
Exactly. And crucially, the provider must offer 24/7 technical support. If a server cluster goes down right in the middle of the Super Bowl halftime rush, the business owner needs to reach a capable human engineer instantly.
Not an automated chatbot that creates a support ticket for the following Monday.
Precisely. Now, I noticed an interesting nuance in the text regarding support and infrastructure.
Oh.
Yeah, we have spent this entire time talking about fighting back against the giant monopolies like DoorDash. But apparently, DoorDash themselves offer a white label logistics solution.
Wait, really? How does that work? If you were using DoorDash as drivers, aren't you right back in the same trap you were trying to escape?
It is a nuanced hybrid approach called DoorDash Drive, and it operates on a logistics as a service model. It basically separates the marketplace from the delivery fleet.
Okay, I'm tracking.
So a restaurant builds their own fully branded website and app for customers to place orders. The restaurant retains total ownership of the customer data and the front-end brand experience. However, on the back end, when the payment clears, the software fires off a webhook to DoorDash's vast network of drivers to physically execute the delivery.
Ah, I see the distinction. So you are utilizing their massive fleet of gig workers to handle the physical logistics, but you aren't paying the massive commission fee to be listed on their marketplace app where you have to compete with 50 other pizza places.
Exactly. You pay a flat fulfillment fee for the delivery itself rather than a percentage of the total order value. It allows businesses to leverage enterprise-scale logistics without surrendering their digital storefront or their customer relationships.
That's a really interesting middle ground.
It is. It highlights just how multi-layered and sophisticated the delivery economy has become.
So what does this all mean? We have covered a massive amount of territory today. We've explored the crippling technical debt of building custom apps, the hidden value of owning unfiltered customer data, algorithmic route
They
optimization,
didn't forget the tow trucks.
right? And how a local tow truck company can run on the exact same logistical skeleton as a multinational pizza chain.
The overarching takeaway here is a shift in power dynamics. Choosing a white label platform is no longer just a simple IT upgrade for a local business. It represents a strategic rebellion against the aggregator monopolies.
A strategic rebellion. I love the weight of that phrase. It perfectly captures what is happening.
It allows independent restaurants, boutique grocery stores, and local service providers to reclaim sovereign ownership of their entire customer experience. They can aggressively protect their profit margins from those crushing 30% fees.
And keep that money in the local economy.
Yes. And they can finally stop renting access to their own audience from massive tech conglomerates. They're building a digital asset that holds intrinsic value rather than just participating in someone else's marketplace.
It is incredibly empowering. It is arming the local Main Street businesses with the exact same sophisticated digital weaponry that the Silicon Valley billionaires possess, allowing them to compete, scale, and thrive on their own terms.
However, this raises an important question. And it's a concept I want to leave you, our listener, to ponder as you navigate your own digital habits this week.
Okay, lay it on us.
We have thoroughly established that escaping the giant aggregator apps is highly beneficial for the survival and growth of the individual business. But imagine a scenario where every single local restaurant, every corner grocery store, every dry cleaner, and every neighborhood florist successfully launches their own standalone, beautifully branded, white label app to escape those commission fees.
Oh, I see the logistical wall we were about to hit.
Yeah. Will the average consumer actually be willing to download, manage, and update 50 different highly localized apps onto their smartphone?
Probably not.
Right. Or will this inevitable app fatigue and intense digital fragmentation simply create a massive convenience vacuum for the consumer, inevitably leading to the invention of a brand new type of digital aggregator all over again?
Wow. The cycle of tech centralization continues. Like, the businesses fight tooth and nail to escape the centralized marketplace, only to inadvertently recreate the consumer demand for one because nobody wants 50 different icons cluttering up their home screen.
It's the ultimate irony.
That is a brilliant and slightly terrifying thought to chew on. Well, that is all the time we have for today's deep dive into the hidden mechanics of the delivery economy. Thank you so much for joining us, for exploring these incredible strategies, and for being curious.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Keep learning, everyone.